Dan is one of our favorite customers because he wants to go even faster. Whenever you're trying to upgrade your fuel system, you'll usually need a low pressure fuel pump, but now you have two options. You can upgrade the direct injection system, or you can add port injection. If you don't know what port injection or reflex is, we'll go over that here in a second, but this car is pretty quick. He already had VRX70B turbos. This car will be getting the VRX80Bs, motive reflex, and port injection. A lot of these guys upgrade the high pressure fuel pump over here and upgraded DI injectors that you can't really see right now, but they're in here. So to install port injection on a VR30, you need a few bits. Lucky for us, we're working with Boosted 6 Auto. This lower plenum is going to be integrated with our port injectors, so this is where those go. We're going to be running a set of ID 1050 port injectors. These will sit in these gaps here. These are all of our fuel lines. On each end of this fuel rail, we've got a point for AN fittings, which are all included. Some additional hardware to install. We have a motive bar pressure sensor. This is where the magic happens. This is a Reflex Plus unit, and this is what actually controls all of the port injection, and it's that little box that you saw in the engine bay. And the wiring harness, this is how you connect everything together. You've got things like your plugs for your injectors here, as well as some additional stuff to be able to communicate. This harness will plug into this box and then branch out and then plug into your port injectors. So we'll go ahead and get all of this unboxed and unwrapped and installed with these VRX80B turbos.
We're installing the VRX80s now on this car. You'll notice the lines for coolant feed, return, oil drain, and then oil feed are going to be put on. You need to install these before you bolt them onto the car, because how are you going to access this inside banjo bolt once it's against the block? Turbo speed sensors on. If you had an EGT sensor go here, this car doesn't, so they come with block off kits. Obviously wastegate.
Yeah, these turbos look really nice. So a little bit bigger than the 70B turbos. Nick's got this thing all ready to go, and we'll get this installed on the car next. We got the VRX80Bs on. So we've started this assembly. We have the lower intake plenum removed. We are working on the new one, getting the ID 1050 port injectors put in. We're just lubing them up.
Yeah. The goal is to have fuel feed into here, wrap 180 degrees around to this rail, and then to your sensor here. It's a return list system. There's no fuel return. Nothing too complicated, really. This is supposed to be the front of the car. This will be the front of the manifold. The way you can tell is look at the gap here between this intake runner. Then look at the back side here. So there's a larger gap as the front of the vehicle. This -6 to -6 ORP fittings, there's 3 of them. You're going to install one here, there. This fitting is a 1/8 NPT adapter for your motive reflex fuel pressure sensor.
This is the wiring harness, and there's one small step that you have to do.
You need to swap these 2 lines. I've already done it. These yellow and green twisted together wires are can high, can low. So what you have to do is swap it like how I have it now. You're going to move the yellow from here to here and the green from the inside to the outside. White plastic piece here, you're going to push in. You hear that audible click. So now every single one of these pins is unlocked. So be careful and just pull it out, vice versa. You're going to reinsert, push it all the way until you can see the metal ring. This white plastic piece won't even close if you don't push it all the way through. So you push it all the way in, click these pieces in, and that is how you depin and repin for can high, can low. They are in the wrong spots for the Qs. This is one of your main connectors that goes to your actual reflex box. So can high, can low is swapped on this connector.
Gotcha.
So we just switch it back.
Just getting ready to throw this bad boy on.
Yep. These holes are what I call the bolt collectors. Great place to put all your hardware. But real serious talk, make sure when you reinstall this, you install the gaskets, and then you just kind of place it on there. Try to line it up. And you can see the holes align. Then we're going to tighten these all evenly and torque them down to spec.
You're going to reuse your OEM lower plenum bolts. So we have our motive harness, and we're starting to plug everything in. These are the injectors.
I ran the coolant line a little bit farther out so it doesn't like get crushed.
Our fuel line is right here, and we've got our coolant line ran across. So a little bit of a tight fit, just mess around with it a little bit and you'll be good. Dan's also running our upgraded race box pulleys, so we're gonna dyno this thing, and it's important that we don't shred any belts. So we've got these on here. If you have a VR30 and you keep shredding belts, make sure to check out our website for these. We've been selling these super quick. All right, we've got the subframe back into the car right now after getting the VRX80B turbos thrown on. Just getting things wrapped up underneath here. We're gonna finish the rest of the motive install once we bring the car down, so you guys can have a little bit better view of what we're working on. And once it's put all back together, we'll throw it on the dyno and see what kind of power we're making. We got the motive harness pulled through the back.
Here is mostly the motive harness. This will include all of your jumpers and then your CAN bus connection as well as your flex fuel connection here. I'm gonna try to tidy it up and run it back here below the cowl. I already have these jumpers installed. These are all labeled, so it's pretty easy. So this one is map sensor. It's a lot like BMWs, if anybody's a BMW guy for motive reflex.
Me. Sorry.
We hijack map, we hijack crank position sensor, and then you see this exhaust cam connector right here. We hijack that. And then we get CAN bus from the IPDM right here. And then flex fuel, the connector run all the way to the flex sensor over there. If you are following the rules and the instructions, your kit will come with a new flex kit that'll be installed right here from Boosted 6.
We have a feeling that port injection is going to be pretty popular on the VR30 platform now. If this were your car, would you do DI upgrade still?
No.
Port injection in process. This is what we're talking about here. You guys know Dan Vu. He ran the 5.2 on the street on the VRX70s. He's always upgrading it. And so he's doing the B6A port injection kit. And I wanted to just do a little talk about why we're switching him over to port injection, because he has everything. He had the full DI setup. Now here's the problem, right? And this is the same thing on BMWs. And I am, first of all, very, 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 very grateful that we had the DI support on the VR30 platform that we did for all of these years, because we would have never gotten as far on these platforms if we had not had that. Having said that, PI is like unlimited fuel. Real talk. You basically can just keep upgrading your low pressure pump and upgrading your PI injectors and basically get as much fuel as you want. Once you get really high on DI injector sizes, you start losing drivability, you start having random issues, they get really expensive, and every time, eventually your injectors outscale your high pressure pump, and then that outscales your low pressure pump. With PI, it's just injector, low pressure pump. With DI, it's low pressure pump, expensive DI injectors, high pressure pump. And so you're already saving money that way. So if people come to us now and they ask, hey, my eventual goal is like 800 horsepower, we're just gonna tell you to go PI from the start. At the power levels that we're pushing, because PI gives you that unlimited capacity, it's safer. And the reason I say that is even with the best DI upgrades out there at 800 horsepower, we're limited to E50. So you would just go straight PI. Because you can run higher E content, you're getting more charge cooling out of it. Safely, depends on how you're tuning it, right? Ecutech finally gave us RaceROM 6, which gave us custom maps, which allows custom inputs on the CAN bus. What that allows is, while we don't have direct control of the PI and integrated reflex control like we do on the BMWs, what we do have is we have safeties. If the AFR exceeds the target by X amount for X amount of seconds or X amount of milliseconds, boom, fuel cut, boost cut, right? Lose a signal from the reflex for fuel pressure sensor, boom, boost cut, fuel cut. And yes, these safeties also carry over to DI. Just go PI, it's better. We like it. I know the DI company is gonna come after me. I'm sorry, I really appreciate everything everyone's done for us. But having said that, DI is still simpler and cleaner. You're not gonna have wires running across, you're not gonna have another fuel rail, another manifold. The install for DI is easier. 4s on the street, Dan, I want 4s on the street. Once you run full PI, I don't want any excuses. Yeet the car. All right, that's all I gotta say about that.
Yo, bro.
Just practicing, that's all. We just want to make sure it starts to no issues. great first start on this car. Fuel trims are great. I mean, really not, like, it's a big change, but not a big change. You gotta think this car had VRX70s beforehand, so really idle and drivability is not gonna change much until it gets into wide open throttle boost.
We've got Dan's PI all installed with the new VRX80B turbos, and we've got it in the dyno room. So we're gonna go ahead and get our base map flash. This car is still stock engine, so we will likely hold it back just a little bit for the sake of longevity and reliability. But you can see here, these are the new boosted 6 intakes, finished in neochrome. Before we run this car on the dyno, there's another thing we can do with our laptop over here via Tuner Pro. Hook your computer up to your reflex before you do anything to make sure that you're actually getting a reading from everything that we installed. Our ethanol content sensor is now hooked up to our motive reflex. We can double check on the computer to make sure we're getting a reading there, and that'll verify that our wiring is correct and that reflex is working too. We verified that our reflex is working and we are good to go to start dyno tuning. Alex already went ahead and filled it up with some E85, so we're good to start doing some pulls. Right now, that first pull with pretty much no boost, no timing, just to make sure everything's working properly. All right, we have a new bin file, aka tune for the reflex, loaded onto Dan's car. Now we're gonna start turning it up. We just did another pull on medium boost and things are still looking good, so time to turn it up. Dang! That's already over 700 wheel horsepower on the VRX80Bs. We're still working on our boost right now, so this isn't the finished result, but you can tell right now that these VRX80Bs love to rip.
You ready to see some rods fly out?
Oh no. Let it ride. That is 753 wheel horsepower and 618 foot-pound of torque. And these VRX80s are eating up top. 750, boy. Hell yeah. It sounded pretty nasty up top. And I have my hand on the intercooler. That's a testament to how cold this thing still is, even though it is 107 degrees in here. About 107 degrees on that pull, even with the garages all open. But we made 765 wheel horsepower and 606 foot-pound of torque. So you can see that VRX80 still eating up top. Pretty flat torque curve too. You don't really see it drop off after it spools up at about 4,000 RPM. But yeah, we're showing you everything. We're showing you our temperature, our ambient pressure, our humidity, and our correction factor, everything. We're not gonna hide anything. And there you have it. After a full build breakdown, explanation of what everything is, and dyno results, we're proud to show you can make over 760 wheel horsepower on the stock motor and stock transmission in a Q50. If you guys at home watching are trying to make some serious power on your VR30, make sure to contact us with any questions you have. You won't find another shop like us where we do parts, installation, and tuning all in one spot for the VR30. Make sure to drop a comment, and if you haven't already, hit the like button and subscribe. We've got a bunch of content coming for the channel. We have an Instagram, so make sure you follow us at GoRacebox. We recently posted on our story asking you guys for any questions that you want us to answer, so keep your eyes peeled for the next video because we're doing a full Q&A with every question that you guys ask us. But that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and make sure to hit that subscribe button.